fourth grade. We are looking at lesson 95 here. So let's take a look, get started, and get into it. All right. So first of all, we are looking at different types of word problems that are dealing with division. So let's see this first one. There are 40 students on the field trip. 3/4 of them brought their lunches. How many students brought their lunch? All right, so when we're trying to figure out something like this, then you have a fraction, 3/4. So we need to look and see what our denominator is, because that's going to tell us how many groups we divide something into. All right, so when I look at that, I kind of bolded the word there, fourths, because we're going to divide it into a group of 4, because when we write the number 3/4, we write the number 3/4, we're going to see that that we have the 4 as our denominator. So here we go, 3/4. Okay, the 4 is the denominator. That's the number I'm going to divide it into. I'm going to have 4 groups. So I'm going to take that 40 and I'm going to divide it by 4. So 40 divided by 4. And it can be mental math because blank times 4 is 40. It would be 10. Now, each group has 10. So what we want to do, and this is where this, as far as on different work, what I want to see. So there's a 10 there, a 10 there, a 10 there, and a 10 there, because that's what it said. 40 divided by 4 is 10. And if I add it up, this should be 40 students. It should equal 40. So I have 40 students, 10, 20, 30, 40. Now, we need 3/4 of those. 3/4 of those. So I need 3 groups. I have this group, and this group. That's 3 groups out of 4, or 3/4. So I have to add, how much do I have? I have 10, I have 20, I have 30. So 30 students brought their lunch. Okay? So let's go over that again. There are 40 students, that's where my 40 comes in, on the field trip. 3/4 of them brought their lunches, 3/4. The 4 tells me how many groups I have equally. So I have 4. I divide that out, but I need 3 of those groups. That's where that 3 comes from when I go 10, 20, 30. And I get 30 students. So when you have to show this, you can put the 10s like that, 4 like that. You can do check 3 times like that, or you can come over here and write 3/4 to let me know that you're talking about 3 groups like that. Okay? Now, let's look at another example like that. The force of Mars is 2/5 the force of gravity on Earth. A person weighs 125 on Mars. How much do they weigh on Earth? All right, so first of all, what's the denominator? Right, it's 5. And then what do we divide by? It is also 5. So I take my weight on Mars, 125, and I divide it by that denominator, which is 5. How many 5s can we get out of 12? We can get 2. 2 times 5 is 10. That's that. We did dad on the roof. Roof times the door ends up on the floor. That's mom. Multiply. Sister, subtract. We have 2 left here. Brother in town, so bring him on down. Now he goes to talk to dad again, so we have to divide. How many 5s do we get out of 25? 5. Now we do mom again. Roof times the door ends up on the floor. 5 times 5 is 25. There's our floor. Sister, subtract. No brothers in town, so we're done. So we have 25 in a group. So on my chart that I have, I'll move this, I have 5 sections. That last section's not showing up too well. Let's see if I can get it up a little further. There we go. All right, so we have 25 here. We have 25 here, 25 here, 25 here, and 25 here. And when I add these up, it should equal the weight that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4 makes 100, and that makes 125, so 125 pounds. Now, 2/5. So I want to take 2 out of the 5. So 1, 2. So 25 and 25, that's 2/5. I have 2 pieces out of the 5 pieces. So 25 and 25 gives me 50. So 50 pounds. All right. Anyway, let's look at one more here and get this together. Okay. Hopefully the idea is sinking in as to what we're supposed to do. There are 30 cookies in a package. 1/3 of the cookies were saved. How many cookies were given away? So this time we're asking a little different question. But what is the denominator here? 3, right? And what do we divide by? 3. So we have 30 cookies divided into 3 groups, which gives us 10 cookies each. So in our section, we have 10 cookies here, 10 cookies here, 10 cookies here. And we said 1/3 were saved, so this is saved. Just 1/3. 2/3 of them were given away. Okay, so these other 2 are given away. So if I asked you how many were given away, well, then I have 10, 20. 20 were given away. How many were saved? 10 were saved. Okay, because 1/3 is saved. 2/3 are given away. Okay, so this is the picture form we want to use when we have a fraction. The denominator tells us what we divide the large number into, and then that gives us our final answer. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little background as to what we're talking about with the types of problems. Again, like this one here, we have 40 students on a field trip. 3/4 of them brought their lunches, so I have to divide it into groups of 4. Each group is 10, and then I put that 10 into here, and then I have 3 of those 4 groups that brought their lunches, so that's 10, 20, 30. Don't make the mistake of when you get the answer here that you think you're done. Okay, when you finish your division problem, then you need to fill out your chart like that. All right? All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, as this is your Thursday lesson. And I will see you back on Tuesday, since we have Memorial Day off.